Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to check your O-rings in your, well, this in particular is a Tippmann 98 Custom. I've also got a Tippmann A5 here, but I'm only going to take apart the 98 Custom. That's one of the more popular ones. Just some O-rings to check. Um, so far, well, I'm going to take this off so I can get a better view. Alright. So far, I have taken off the outside cover. Basically, there's a screw there, screw there, screw there, screw there, screw there, screw there. I like to leave them in the casing. That way I know exactly where the screws go, because there are different sizes, different lengths. So make sure you try to keep them in their proper spot. Now, as far as O-rings, it's kind of hard to do one-handed, but I'll see if I can do this without everything flying apart. Let's see here. Well, let's see. Try to set this down here. Not working very well, but maybe we'll get it to work here. Well, basically, there's one right inside here. Right about where my thumb is, this pulls back, and there's an O-ring there, a little black one. Gotta check for that. Basically, if they're getting rotten or if they're cracking, you need to replace those. Also, there's one right back here. I'll pull it back here once I get the camera back on the tripod, but there's one going to be right in there. Alright? And so, yeah. I'm going to go ahead and put it on the tripod. One thing you have to watch out for is these pins. These pins, they like to come out very easily. I had a couple come out with the other side and fall out, and so make sure you get those in the proper spot. Alright, make sure everything's intact, so that way when you put it back together, it slides right on. Alright, that there, that's just kind of a bumper, so not a big deal as far as that goes. It's not really an O-ring. Alright, so I'm going to throw it back on that tripod here. Alright. So I'm going to try to zoom in while I pull this back. Okay, there's going to be one kind of right in there. See that white piece right there? That's an O-ring. This one seems to be fine. It's pretty soft yet. No real signs of cracking. Looks good. Alright. The next one will be more towards the front here. Kind of right where it goes in the barrel. I'll try to pull this back and see how the view of the camera. Alright. It's kind of hard to see, but it is right there. Alright. This one looks good as well. Put this back in there. Alright, make sure it's still intact. It's going to be good. Alright. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to throw a little bit of oil on it. A little bit of paintball gun oil. I'm going to throw a little bit on that area right there where it goes in, kind of this area here, and also there, also up in here. The lighting isn't the best, but Anyways, right in there. Just to keep, because those parts are constantly moving when you're shooting, and it's good just to keep that lubed up. So, look at my little handy dandy kit here. And came with some oil. I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Just really have a rag handy just in case it decides to be messy. Alright. I'm just going to put a little bit, not much, just enough to move it up a little bit. I'll cycle it a few times once I get it out, but back together. Alright. Now I'm going to set this back on there. This being the cover. Alright, got all my screws in there, all my pins seem to be in place. Now I'm going to try to line this up the best I can. Alright. There. Alright, all the seams seem to be nice and flush, pressed together. All the screws seem to be not pushing out, so that kind of tells me that it's ready to tighten back up. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. There's also this little rubber piece that goes on the section there, which needs to come off before you take it apart because it's too big for the slot. Whatever. Alright, tighten up all the screws. When you're tightening them, you don't need to reef on them, just nice and snug, that's all you gotta do. Start reefing on it, then you'll break a screw off, or you don't want to cross thread them either. So that would not be cool. Alright, quickly recheck all your screws, make sure you got them all. I got all those. Now I need to reconnect my drop tube here. You need to actually screw into a couple nuts that are inside. It's important to make sure you don't lose those either, because then you'll have problems when you go to reconnect this. Alright, all the screws are nice and tight. And we're going to clean it up some. I'm going to show you how to clean it up as far as cleaning the tube out. So I'm going to cycle this a few times, just get that oil dispersed. Obviously make sure you don't have paintballs in there, not that they do much anyways, but always act as if it's loaded, I guess, like any other gun. Now I'm going to unscrew the tube out of here. I don't know if you can really see in there, but yeah, there's a little bit of junk in there. Not too bad, but it still restricts. It could cause your paintball to break which is never fun. So sometimes the gun will come with a squeegee like this. It's good for out in the field. Take your barrel out quick, pull this through quick, start playing again. So I'll kind of show you how that works. Stick it in the end. Alright, you just kind of pull. I kind of see that this kind of lined up. You can hear it suctioning along the edges of the barrel, pulling out any debris. Alright. See that? It didn't look like much in the barrel, but ends up being a fair amount of junk. I'm gonna grab a paper towel here quick. Alright, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to wipe it off. For the most part, that'll be perfect, obviously. Run it through again. And this is a 98 custom without any customization done to it. I got two guns instead of customizing one. Alright, so it looks pretty clean. Don't see much on the end. Alright. I also want to demonstrate this squeegee. It's also made by Tippmann. It's got kind of a spring loaded deal. You got your cloth in there. You also have like a squeegee end on it. Kind of like this one here, only it's just one that pulls through the majority of the debris. So I'm going to stick that end through there. Alright, I'm going to kind of twist it. I'm going to try to wipe any of that excess out of there. We got most of it anyways, but alright. Now lastly I'll just take the end. And pull it through. It's actually a pretty tight fit, so you're going to get a lot of your debris. Okay. Now I'm just going to wipe it off quick, get rid of the majority on the outside. Not really fun playing with a dirty gun. Alright, got that nice and clean. Alright, now I'm going to take my hopper off. Sometimes you'll break a paintball in here and it'll go down there, cause problems, so I like to take this squeegee here, kind of just push it down in there. It works better from here. Kind of hard to actually get in there. Guess I haven't tried using this guy in there yet, so we'll go ahead and try that. That won't work. So, anyways, just kind of wipe it out in there. You can even take a paper towel. Wipe it out. Alright. So that's that. I oiled it, checked my O-rings, made sure that they were all still nice and pliable and not cracked up. I made sure my safety works. That's important. Yeah, everything seemed to check out. Looks like it's good to play again. But before I go, I am going to clean the barrel on my Tippmann A5. Alright, I'm just going to remove this right away. Maybe. There we go. Alright, this kind of got the cyclone feeder in it. Every time you shoot, well, when you have air hooked up to it, every time you shoot, it will actually cycle. Okay, I haven't had too many problems with balls breaking in there at all, really. Just don't buy super cheap ones. Alright. There's still little chunks of paintball, I guess, in there. So, what I do is I take this. This is a flatline barrel. I'm going to take this first because this gets a lot of the majority of it. Then I'll follow up with the cloth squeegee. Alright, now I'm going to pull that through there. Makes kind of a cool noise. Alright, so we got some on there. Not a whole lot. A few hairs, which is weird. And okay. So I got the majority of the debris. Like I said, I don't really have much problems with balls breaking, so it's really not much of a surprise that I don't have much pulling out through. Alright, kind of run that through there. All nice and clean. Alright. Now, just going to wipe this out a little bit. Stick it to the end. Alright. Like I said, I'm not going to take this gun apart. Kind of like it because it's got kind of a tactical look to it. But one thing I am going to do is give it some oil. I like to put a little oil in the action here. Kind of, right in here. Pull back the action right inside there. Alright. So I'm just going to cycle it a few times. Alright. So everything seems to be pretty clean in there. Feeder's pretty clean. Everything seems to be pretty clean, except for the outside, which is pretty common to get hit in the gun while playing. Alright, just gonna wipe it off quick. Alright, and that is all I really had to show you. Like I said, I'm guessing, it's a general concept when you take this apart, take the screws out, and we've got, Phelps screws and some, here I'll show you, got some, Phelps screws in the handle, and some different sized Allen screws throughout the side here, but, yeah, it comes apart the same. Just take the screws out and lift it off. Pretty simple. I actually have a screw missing right there, so I'm going to actually replace that quick, see if I have a screw here. A lot of times you do. So, and the nut's still there. I don't know if you can really see it, but the nut's still there. It's just a screw that's gone. Screw that's missing. Alright, so I'm going to look for a screw here. Alright, oh, I've got one. I believe I have the Allen wrench to fit it. Sure do. I'm just going to stick this in there. Tighten it up. Voila. It's a good idea to check the rest of your screws, especially if you are missing one, because pretty common thing to lose. That's probably why they sent a couple of them with their kit. As you can tell, I'm not the most entertaining host, I guess, but I hope you find it informative, if nothing else. Alright, so yeah, go ahead and put this back together. Well, before I do that, probably kind of hard to see on here, but the tube actually, you know, kind of dips. See how it starts up on top and ends up on the bottom? Helps you get a flatter trajectory, big words, and ultimately a flatter flying ball. Alright, so put that back on, put my hopper on, get some CO2 and paintballs, and I'm ready to play. Thanks for watching, and hope that this was informative, and hope to have some actual footage of paintball once it warms up. Thank you.